Paul, you know, when we speak about today about Imam Hussein, obviously, you know, he stood against the tyrannical rule or, you know, a tyrannical power. But in any given situation, in any given political situation, whatever that may be, it may be a social economic problem. But the word religion always seems to pop in from one angle or the other. Do you feel that, you know, the teachings of the Prophet, teachings of all the prophets, no matter who they are, teachings of Buddha, teachings of, all, do you feel that, you know, these code of conducts then probably are left behind and certain people use it for their own,
Absolutely,
interests?
PJ. This is a big problem. I mean, even the word religion, people don't look back at what the original meaning of words are. The word religion comes from a Latin word, religo, or something like that, which means to bind, to tie up. Now, there's a verse in the Quran which is often translated, "Today we have perfected your religion for you and made for you your religion, Islam." But people don't actually take the time out to find out what this really means and what it actually says in Arabic. The word translated as religion is deen. And deen does not mean religion. Deen means something more like way of life or life transaction with God. This is not the same as the Latin root of to tie up. It's not supposed to tie up. Deen is supposed to liberate you. Just like actually, in many respects, that the heart of the Christian faith, the love of Jesus Christ, you know, and accepting, as the Christians believe, his sacrifice is supposed to liberate you. It's not supposed to tie you up. And then you carry on in this verse, perfected your deen for you and made for you your deen to be Islam. Islam is an Arabic word. When Prophet Muhammad ﷺ recited this in Arabic to his companions, where was Islam? There was no such thing as the religion of Islam. This came afterwards. This is how it was codified by scholars and other people afterwards. And then they disputed with one another and made various denominations and sects. And people are going further and further away from the message of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and his closest family and companions. And this is what we need to return to. We need to return to the message in the Holy Quran and understand what it really means. Islam means surrender to divine providence, surrender to God's will. That's what it means. So this verse, when it's, you look at the difference in the translation. Today we have perfected for you religion and made for you your religion, Islam, actually should be translated, today we have perfected your way of life for you and made for you your way of life is the acceptance of the will of God. Actually, I don't think anybody could dispute with that verse when it's translated that way. None of the people of any faith here could dispute with that.
Coming to you, Gaurav, for the future, do you feel that these religious indifferences, they can be resolved, or we will continue to be talking on this every year?
I definitely believe that these issues will be resolved and can be resolved. And that
How?
can be done actually through the main problem today is ignorance, that the youth, a lot of people around, they do not know about each other's faiths. I come from a Hindu background, but I personally took up the study of Islam. I read books like Nahjul Balagha and the teachings of Imam Ali and various translations of the Quran. And I personally found out that Islam is not what is promoted sometimes in the media, and it's a religion which does not actually promote terrorism. And this is what I could also understand from the sacrifice, non-violent sacrifice made by Imam Hussein, and the saying of Imam Ali, who said that either a person is a brother in faith or in humanity. And just like that, Jesus Christ brought the message of peace and love. And on the cross of Calvary, he forgave the people who crucified him and hanged him and hammered him onto the cross. Similarly, the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, that every living entity, be it a man, animal, dog, a cow, is a part and parcel of God, but not God. And so, when you have the love of God in you, when you have real love for God, you will have love for all his creation, no matter what gender, age, or even if it be animals. So definitely the ignorance has to go, and we have to encourage our children or our generation to bring the barriers and try to read about other religions and also know other religions. And that's when the misunderstandings will go. Yeah.
Zahid, the question I'm going to ask you, I want to take another take from Rubab and Imam Musawi. We speak about the love of God everywhere. No matter what religion, they speak about the love of God. But what about the love of humanity? Love for humanity itself. Yet, we all in different faiths come along and say that we love God, we love the prophets, we love the saints. But what about the love for humanity itself? A fellow human being. Yet, there we see killings all over.
Well, love for humanity would be simply when you have a feeling of love towards other people. And no matter if someone sitting in Japan hears the news of a disaster or oppression for someone living in Brazil, would have the same feeling as if it was inflicted on himself. And that is what sometimes we see missing, because as you know, there is a Universal Declaration on Human Rights which actually says that the human rights are for all the people, and religions do say the same thing, but people take it for themselves as if it is only for them to enjoy those rights granted by their religion. But as you would know, that Universal Declaration on Human Rights is also work done by different countries, India, Iran, Egypt. They were on the panel which drafted the declaration itself. So it is, you can say it is a concept which was drafted unanimously by people from different countries, and it should be adopted so that we realize this goal that you just mentioned.
Right. Imam, before we've got very short time.
Your question to my brother is a very important question. How can love of God exist without love to humanity? I cannot imagine love of God in real sense of it without love of humanity, because simply all human beings were created by God. Anyone who really loves God should love his creatures. And we have got in Islam very clear statement that all human beings are the creatures of God, and the best of them is the more beneficial to the creatures of God. So you cannot love God and hate his creatures. That is a result of love of God to love all human beings. In 1 minute, the harmony which we needs first knowledge. So we have to impart more knowledge about others, to tell our children that those who believe something different from what you believe in are human beings like us, not different. All of us are in front of God, are human beings, and then the most pious is more clear near to God. That's number one. Number two, those who are living together need to have actions together, means social activities, joint social activities, which will make people from different faiths and backgrounds celebrate or say practice the common things among them. That will make them more near to one another. Of course, without knowledge, we cannot achieve that.
Final words.
Right. PJ, the thing is that God has said about himself, and God, he has 3,000 names, 99 are known to us. The best one, which I feel is Rahman. He who gives to the person who doesn't even believe in him. And according to Ghaus-e Azam, God is La Makan. He has no Makan, but he resides in the hearts of people. He resides in broken hearts. And Imam Hussain alayhi salam stood for humanity. Whatever sacrifice Imam Hussain alayhi salam gave, it was for humanity. And what he said in the words of Khalil Gibran, Ibrahim's intentions were accepted by Allah. Bear witness and fall into submission, and listen to the earth weeps as it remembers the day it kissed the forehead of Hussain alayhi salam. Because when Hussain alayhi salam, his last words, what are his last words? Hal min nasi yansuruna? is there anybody who will help the poor? Those are his last words, which to the day of judgment are asking people to help the poor in this community.
But I'll say thank you very much for being here. Very enlightened to hear, and I'm sure the viewers must be enlightened. आज ये एक स्पेशल प्रोग्राम आपके सामने हम लेके आए कि आपके सामने आज 10वीं मुहर्रम अशूरा आज जो मनाया जा रहा है, एक आपके सामने ख्यालात आए। और जैसे कि इमाम मसावी ने कहा है कि नॉलेज, एक तालीम आनी चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर तालीम नहीं है तो किसी के मुतालिक आप कैसे क्या बात कर सकते हैं या किसी के मुतालिक क्या आप सीख सकते हैं। वो खलील जिब्रान की मैं बार बार वो एक कोट करता हूँ आपके सामने, एक सेइंग है कि विजडम इज़ नॉट इन वर्ड्स, इट इज़ द मीनिंग विद इन वर्ड्स। तो कहने को तो कोई कह देगा, लेकिन अगर समझ ही ना आए उस चीज़ की तो उसका क्या फ़ायदा है। आज यही एक कोशिश थी छोटी कि मुख्तलिफ लोग आएँ अपने मज़हब की तरफ से, अपने अपने मज़हबों की तरफ से, और एक अपने ख्यालात का आपके सामने इजहार करें। लेकिन बात वहीं की वहीं आती है कि आप जो मर्ज़ी कर लें, जब तक नीयत अंदर से साफ़ नहीं होगी कुछ ठीक नहीं होगा। तो सबसे पहले हमने यही करना है कि अपनी नीयत साफ़ करनी है। खुदा हाफ़िज़।